Okay, here's my honest review of the Tier 11 2.0 update of World of Tanks. Okay, now I'm not gonna say I've played every tank. I haven't, but when you've played the game for this long, you'll understand what makes a tank good, what makes a tank bad, and what will work in the game. Okay, just to give you a bit of background, I am from the EU. I played on the EU, and I play on NA as well. I have 130, 140 constant ping on the NA, and it's fine. You learn to work with it. That's not the problem. So I played on the EU, and I got three tanks. Sorry, two tanks. I got the Hirsch, big mistake, and I got the Hatta, this thing, on the EU server. When I played with the Hirsch, I felt like it's not an upgrade from the Gorilla because of the fact that it does less alpha damage, and you need to charge in order to get to the alpha damage that the Gorilla does. The Hatta is fucking paper on the EU server because everybody uses gold anywhere anyway. So let me explain to you what this means. So let's get the Hatta over here. If you're playing normal ammo, it has good armor. You switch to heat, suddenly this is a weak spot, and this is a huge weak spot that you cannot get out of because it's huge. In the EU server, everybody knows about this thing because they look at this and they're like, it's angled, and this is angled, but it's shit because it's only 250 and this is only 230. So anywhere you angle, it will be shit. And now you might be thinking, okay, but the mouse does the same. No, it doesn't because the mouse has a better model. This is 260 and this is 210. It's less on the side but more on the front. If you load gold, ignore the whole. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna make it easier for you to understand. If you're side scraping, you do this. Sure, that's a weak spot. Nobody fucking aims there. This is not pennable. This is not pennable. Compare tier 11, heavy tank, Hata, save, gold ammo. Not pennable. 25. Not pennable. It is. And nobody fucking shoots here. Nobody fucking thinks about this place. Nobody. And this is such a small thing that probably nobody's going to try to shoot at it just because it's small. And the heavy tanks have no goddamn accuracy anyway. So nobody's shooting there. So you go to this same shell. When I look at this, I think, okay, the Hata should be the tier 9. It isn't. It's the tier 11. That has a flat turret compared to the rounded mouse and Maushin turret, and VK turret. It's not a straight side turret, so, the Maushin has a little bit of angle on it, but it's not as aggressive. The mouse has no angle on it at all. Like, this is a flat surface. This isn't. This has an angle here, angle here, angle there. Flat here, flat angle there. Whatever. Angle at the back, nobody fucking cares about. The angles at the front, that's what we care about because that's what we're going to be fighting. And you'd be like, oh, it's big, so it's whatever. This is not a weak spot, whatever. Against other Tashinhatas, it is a weak spot, but against other people, it isn't. But this is still a weak spot. Like, you can turn this way, it will still be a weak spot, regardless of what you think about it. And APCR will go through this. Heat won't, but APCR will go through this. And this is big. It's bigger than the mouse's one. The mouse is this big, from where the gun ends and the dark blue starts, more or less. This one is the flat, almost the whole flat plate. It's bigger, just because the tank is bigger anyway. So the mantlet is weak. Anywhere you angle with the turret, if anything is as tall as you, it will pen. If it's shooting from above you, like any STRV with gold shells will, it will pen you. If it's shooting gold from very far away and it's heat shells, it will pen you. Um, so the only thing that doesn't pen you is the medium tanks far away, the light tanks going anywhere, and artillery HE shells. And maybe, if you're lucky, HESH shells from from the FVs. But they will. They will pen you. So my entire thing is, why isn't this 300 and why isn't this 250? Because if you made it 300 and this 250, you could ignore this thing and actually have, oh, and give it a cupola. Who cares, right? Make this overmatchable. Whatever. You know? Don't make this 250 have less armor than the mouse and then have a shittier design of turret. We both know this thing didn't exist. We both know it didn't exist. We both, all of us, know that this has been fabricated by wargaming. All of us know that. There's nothing here saying where it comes from. Nothing. Nothing. Project that placed great emphasis on optimizing the hull, the slope angles, the armor plate thickness, where Richard was able to boost reaction again without significantly increasing the weight. Reworked her. Designers plan to mount a mine detection system, WMD protection against radiation. The project was closed since the issue of low mobility was not solved. I'm telling you this much: it didn't fucking exist. This is made up. Okay. Bro, they almost didn't even get to the mouse. How the fuck would they think about getting this thing? They thought about the E100. That's about it. The fuck? Um. So this didn't exist. Didn't exist at all. At all. Uh. It then that description is totally made up. 100%. I'm not gonna look it up, but you can look it up yourself. I think you should. Prove me wrong. I'm not gonna look it up because I just think it's bullshit. Period. Um. They haven't added the fucking M1 Abrams into the game, and they're already adding ChatGPT shit. So, it's not an upgrade from the mouse. It shouldn't even be in the mouse line because the E100 and the E75 share much better resemblances to it. It's a middle turreted tank compared to the mouse, Maushin, and almost the VK rear turreted tanks. It has less armor than the mouse on the turret where it matters. It has less armor on the Tiger mouse because it has 300. The Tiger mouse has 300 comparatively. Don't know if you know that, but where is the 300? Firepower, gonna have mobility, armor, and health. 300, 260, 260, 250, 240. It has 10 more than the tier 9, 10 less than the tier 10, and 50 less than the tier 9 premium. Okay? Great. While we're looking at armor and health, why is this like this? It has a little bit more than the tier 9, but vastly less than the tier 10. You're like, oh, the upgrades are different. No, bro, they're the same. Like that, all skills. That, all skills. Internal modular durability, HE shell damage, stun duration, aiming speed, halt for speed thingy. And just because it doesn't have the upgrades here doesn't mean it gets better. It doesn't. You go to this, I have the okay, whatever. I'm stupid and I clicked the wrong thing. I have the whole upgrade thing. It doesn't have anything relating to engine durability or ammo rack durability almost. Like, think it's engine hit points and fuel tank hit points. Doesn't show it on the other side. Where is the one for armor rack durability? I know it exists. Ammo rack durability. So 20, 20, and 20. So 20%, 20%, and 20%. Of this value, it doesn't reach 520. It doesn't reach 910. And it doesn't reach 936 on the mouse. Maybe it does. Maybe these two do. But this one definitely won't. And there's no track durability upgrade anyway, so this is just This is just bad comparatively. The track repair time is even slower. And you're like, okay, but your tank doesn't. Your tank in game doesn't have the same upgrades, right? I know. I don't. The experimental. I don't have the experimental thing in there. But that doesn't. That shouldn't matter. This is the same thing, and it doesn't reach it. It does the same as this bullshit. It's tiered 9.5, maybe 10.5 at certain points. Why though? Why? It starts with more, but it doesn't end up with more. It's dumb. You go to the firepower now. 3050, 3440. That's almost that's 390 upgrade. Fucking 11. 11 DPM upgrade. Sure, it has more pen. Whatever. These are all using the same gun basically. Sure, more pen. It's tier 11. It should have more pen. The tier 9, 8, and the tier 9 and 10 should have differing pen as well. It should not be the same amount of pen. Like, these should have less. Just because of the fact that they're tier 9, not tier 10. Um, Module damage is the same anywhere. Reload time is arguably worse. It actually is probably closer to that one than it is, and it's closer to this one than it is to that one, but it doesn't matter. This goes from 2500 to 30, almost 3400, and this goes to less. Cents? Zero? I don't fucking know. Even with 8 more shells, it wouldn't get to 3400. Like, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like, even this tier 9 has more more potential damage than that tier 10, than the tier 11. Gun handling, not fucking good either. Uh, 0.1 dispersion. I have 0.31 currently in the game, and it's still shit. It's still shit. It has 3000 DPM. Here, 3451, so I'm missing a couple skills. It never reaches this because of the resistances and the horsepower of the engine compared to the weight. It makes no sense. It makes zero sense. It's not an upgrade. It's not an upgrade. So that's the rant about the Tashinrata. Now let's rant about other tanks. Wait, let me look up the T803. So this one, I actually think this is very much an upgrade from the E5, but it's not broken. It's not. You can't angle with it. You will get bent here and here, and you still have the cupola and the lower plate. It's not as rounded as the E5, so it's not as trolly, right? You very much will do this with it, so but you still have weak spots if you're not doing it over the front. You still have weak spots if you do move them up over the ridge line. You still have the cupola from other people's, directions of shooting, and if you do it too much, you're still gonna have that. So it's a well-rounded tank, and I think it's fine. It's completely fine. It's balanced. Now, the can opener. It's not the can opener. It's the contriver. This thing also, I think it's pretty good. The weak spot is a little bit bigger horizontally than vertically now, but that's fine. The biggest weak spot's the cupola anyway. If you do what you should be doing, which is hold down with it, it's actually impenetrable, but it has the same issues that the T803 has, which is that this is pretty much, you can't do it on every angle. Like, yeah, sure, your turret's better, but hull's shit. Um, and you can't side scrape with it because, well, that's paper at that point. Um, let's compare this. Let's now go to the STRV. I think the STRV is actually a very big downgrade because of the fact that this exists. And that this is actually really easily pennable because of the fact that it's a huge weak spot compared to the STRV 103. If you go to the STRV 103, it doesn't have that side weak spot, and this is much smaller. The cupola is bigger, but that's about the only weak spot it has. In comparison to the STRV 107 in-game, the 103 is better tier for tier. And that's what I have to say about it. Like in here, if you go to armor, sure, it tells you that this will bounce for 438, but it's fucking 30 millimeters. So any 152 will pen this just because of the fact that it will overmatch. This won't overmatch because it's 60. This will pen because it's garbage fucking armor, and this is just bigger. And then if you compare it to the STRV 103B, and you go to the armor thing, it even tells you that this is all spaced armor, and that this is 50 mils. A 152 will pen because of the fact that it's overmatching, but it won't pen. It's not overmatching. It's overmatching if it's HE, but you have a grill in front of you, so it won't go through with HE. You actually have to pen it with AP, which won't pen because of the angle that you're going to give it, which is about 270. So this is well protected from AP shells. The issue is the cupola and this weak spot in here, which is not a weak spot because it's tiny compared to the other one. Look at that. This thing is huge. This weak spot is huge. You can hit this from miles. Another thing, bottom lip, not a fucking auto ricochet. Bottom lip here, it is an auto ricochet. Why is it an auto ricochet? Because the plow is much thicker, and this angle here is actually protected by something that I don't even know what is protecting it, but this is not a weak spot most of the time. Like this is really small compared to the other ones, so probably just not hitting it. But on this one, it's on the entire line, so it will be hit more often, and it won't be an auto ricochet because this is 220 to something. You know what I mean? So, and the plow is smaller. Like this is smaller. Now another tank. This thing, fun tank, pretty cool. Feels like it's a bit of an upgrade from the 75 just because it doesn't have the cupola issues. I think this cupola should be a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. The model makes it look like it's big, but it's not. This one's actually bigger than this one. I think this one should be a little bit bigger. But that's about it. To it. The Sakal, I think is how it's pronounced or whatever. It's pretty cool. I think it's well rounded. It's fine. It's balanced. A little hard to get used to it, but it should be fine. should not need a balancing buff. This is paper, just like the 50B. I don't even know why it exists. The AS is objectively a downgrade from the Bat Chat because of the fact that it's bigger, slower, no camo, taller, so bushes, not all bushes work now, and weird ass fucking mechanic that nobody's gonna enjoy. Like, this is small, same actual size actually, taller for no fucking reason. So it's shit. This thing somehow has a shittier hull, and it's paper everywhere. So it's, yeah. You think, oh, 200, yeah, it's not pen, not paper, it's 200, and everybody in tier 9, 10, and 11 will have gold loaded and do 330 pen, so it doesn't matter. The breaker, pretty cool. I think it really adds a lot to the game. You know, go in, bounce a bunch of shit. You know, be a tanky ass boy. JPZ E100 heat shells will go through this, but that's about it. Same thing with the Badger. 432U actually goated. I don't know why people hate on this thing. It's pretty fucking good. Just don't use the ability. You have DPM, you have a good turret. You have DPM, you have a good turret. You don't have a huge cupola weak spot like the 430U does. You have an objectively better hull. You have more mobility. Like, it's just an upgrade from the 430U. KR1, I, for the life of me, don't understand why this is in the weak spot, just like in the IS-7. But it is what it is. The pike note, the nose, the triangle got a little bigger, I guess. This hull is really, this lower plate is really trolly. Somehow the cupola is not a weak spot. It should be, but it isn't. Somehow that's a weak spot, and it is pennable. That's about it though. Like the 280, that's not a weak spot. This is not a weak spot either. Not a weak spot either. That might be a pennable thing, but it's kind of garbage. So yeah, it's like, I don't get it. It's okay. I mean, it could have been a little less armor just on these sides here, just to make it look like an IS, just to make it have the same weak spot as the IS-7. Like right here, you can pen this. You can pen this very easily. This is not the correct number. You can pen this. 290. That's not, like, you can, if it's doing this, like, you can pen this. Maybe a little, yeah, like that. You can pen that easily, and this is where the Yamarak is, and you will pen that and do a lot of damage. Not an upgrade. Garbage. Nah. Situational platoon tank. I don't know. The RHM was already shit because of the fact that the EBR exists, but now this thing, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is not an upgrade from the Leopard 1, and if you don't know why, you should be thinking about how the game works, and you will immediately see how that's not an upgrade. First of all, it has shittier accuracy if you're not using the ability. You have to stop to use the ability, so a mobile paper big medium that can be spotted from the moon will now have to stop to aim and have better accuracy on a game that a light tank will always be close enough to spot you anyway. So it's garbage. It doesn't have a place in the game. This ability doesn't have a place in the game. Not an upgrade. And this thing is just not an upgrade either. It does 550 when the grill does 750, and it has to spool up to do 750 where the grill already does 750 all the time. And you get the upgrades. It does 800 now. Sure, and you have 10% more module damage. Wow, great, big deal. The DBV does 800, and that shit is tier 10. Sure, it's fucking pay to win tank, but like it's a reward thing. You paid for it with I paid for it with like a shit ton of experience points, of free experience, and I just got it. Or it was either free experience or gold. It doesn't matter at that point. And I got it, and it's a good tank, and I love it. But like this thing is worse than it, and it shouldn't be because it's a tier higher. So this thing is the worst in the gorilla. It has less camo and is bigger than the gorilla. It's garbage. The hacker I think is pretty balanced. It has the same type of thing that the patent does, which is the fact that it kinda has a shit turret, kinda doesn't. This is paper at this point in the game. Anything below 300 millimeters in here is paper. This is pretty okay, I guess. I mean, 277. The Rata almost can pen this with just normal ammo. Bad hull, just how it normally is, and whatever. It's overmatching turret, whatever. Compared to the Patton, which has a much better hull profile, but less armor on it. But this one has a lot better turret profile. So this is much better for the turret. But if you angle a little bit, you're gonna get fucked anyway. Now the T803, like I said, it's a pretty sizable upgrade from the E5. I think it's the only real actual upgrade. Besides the two tanks that I think are the actual upgrades are the Badger to Breaker and the E5 to T803. Now the Hacker is fine. It's not an upgrade. It's just fine. I think just because of the fact that the turret is better on the Patton is actually just makes it another tank. It's just not exactly an upgrade. The Leopard is not an upgrade. The Borkum Cat, I don't know, man. It's so situational and it's so platoony that I don't know. The Hirsch is not an upgrade. The Contriver is an upgrade, but it's just another tank. This is an upgrade, but it's garbage. Just because it has a little bit more turret armor, and that's where it matters to have because it does have good gun depression. But that's about it. The AS is not an upgrade. Period. This doesn't have anything. This doesn't have anything. BZ is an upgrade, but it's a different tank. It plays differently than the BZ because than the BZ-75 because of the fact that the ability is different. But it's fine, I guess. The Sakal, I have never played the CX, the CS, or anything in the line, so I'm not too sure if it's an upgrade or not. The ability makes it seem like it's an upgrade, which it should be, but I have no idea if it is. The STRV is not an upgrade, and there's nothing here. So that's my entire thing on the tier 11 tanks. Let's talk about the UI. The bullshit that this is. First of all, it's rushed. Second of all, that's not a list. It's tabs, right? Store, depot, missions. Those are tabs, right? That's not a list. That's not a list of things. Those are tabs. And the reason why they were at the top is because they were tabs, not because they were lists. I don't know what the fuck they're doing on the left side of the screen. On the right side of the screen, I don't know why the fuck you took the statistics off. I think it would have been great if they were kept there. I like where the crew is. I hate what you did with it in terms of the quote unquote list that you made sure to make a big fuss about it on the trailer. On the right side, you have all this fucking bullshit about battles that you have on the battle modes on the button on the left side of the screen. So, clutter, yay! Missions are on the supposedly quote unquote better side. They're not. If they were below where the quote unquote list is, it would have been better. It would have left the screen with less clutter. And hey, statistics can be put back in there. I also think that the entire bottom of the screen is occupying way too much space. This pixel over here should be over here. Everything should be pushed down a little bit more because the icons on the tanks are very big and make no sense for it to be that big. Anything you click on here, the UI is the old UI. Old UI. This shit, 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 o You go to talk to somebody directly, like, I don't know, send message, old UI. You want to create a platoon, old UI. You want to open this up, old UI. You want to open this up, old UI. You want to change that, old UI. Go to the settings, old UI. Everything is old interface. You go to the barracks. This is the old UI, believe it or not. You go to the tournaments. Sometimes it doesn't even fucking open, but it's the old UI. You go to the store. Sometimes it doesn't open, but it's the old UI. You go to the depot, old UI. You go to the campaigns. You've removed some of the clutter in the background, but this is the same old UI. You go to missions, new UI. You go to the service record, old user interface. Tech tree, new. Barracks, like I said, old. So, and you go to the clan. Fuck off with the temporarily unavailable shit, dude. I didn't even look at this yet. Let's see what it is. Same fucking thing. It's the old UI. It's all. This is the old UI as well. Old UI. Old. This leads to the store, which is the old UI. This is the same old thing. Please just let me in without the old UI. So everything that isn't immediately in people's eyes is updated, but everything that isn't is old. So this was a rushed update. You didn't even let us test the tier 11 tanks on the closed test. That it didn't even go through the common test so that people would be able to test them out even more, so that they wouldn't pick up shitty lines like I did with the Hirsch, or that the Hirsch wouldn't even be a fucking downgrade from the Gorilla because you'd be testing it and taking feedback from the people, like you say you do all the time, which you don't. We're not stupid. And so it's fucking bullshit. It's garbage. It's just an update. It's not a big update. It's just an update, and it's a visual update that nobody asked for. We asked you for tier 11s, I think 5 years ago, 6 maybe. I don't know. It's a garbage update. That's all I have to say.